I'm speaking from Penampang. It's so great to be able to join you all in this press conference that is we are talking about the people's agenda. In our group, I'm supposed to look at the first point, that is upholding the dignity and quality of life of people. And coming from the indigenous communities and coming from Sabah, I think it's very important that we develop a people-friendly economy. That's what we see. And when we talk about the quality of life, I think Prof. Jomo has rightly said that we should not then look at B40 and looking at those category, because when we talk about quality of life and we talk about economy, we have been looking at the economy from the linear perspective. It's time we look at it in a circular perspective. For indigenous community, it is not just about money, it's the quality of the whole environment where we are in, where we have good environment, we have access to clean water, access to good health, and those kind of very important for, I think, in general. So for me, we hope that through the People's Agenda, we can highlight and ask our leaders to ensure that there's adequate public health care and affordable housing, especially for those who are living in the urban area. That is one of the biggest challenge that we find here in Penampang, where we have a lot of urban population in KK, and we don't have enough housing. And the little money that we earn if at the lower income group, we find that those money goes into paying rental and that sort of thing. So we feel that's very important and very important agenda. Another thing that I would like to highlight is the accessible quality education, especially in the rural area. In terms of content and the human power who are involved in education, because we could have nice buildings built, but what is the content of our students that they are learning every day? And how is the quality of those people who are involved in education? Our teachers, the people who manages education, and even the whole thing about looking at education in Malaysia. I think that's very important, and it has become more difficult. It has been highlighted during the COVID-19, where a lot of the education classes was done through internet, and we can see the big divide between the have and the have not. Those who have access to equipment, internet, and so the communities or the people, the rakyat who do not have enough money to get those, definitely there's a big divide. So access to quality education is also very important. Another important area that I feel that is important, that contributes to the dignity, the quality and of life is as women, we want quality childcare services for working mothers. We want to participate in the economy of the country, but what about our families? What about those children? In terms of having quality care, it is not there, and the government, I feel the government can put more money into that, instead of buying equipment for war and things like that. Maybe one jet, fighter jet. So we put that money for quality child care. And I think in terms of another area is the food security. The pandemic has also highlighted how important food security is, because that contributes to the dignity and quality of life for people in Malaysia, because especially supporting local food produce, where we don't want to have high carbon footprint. We need to support our local farmers, our community, small farm gardens in urban area, And what we have in the rural area, we need to also share with the urban community. So those, I think, need that will contribute to food security. Another important aspect, I think, is the living wage. We have tried to ensure that we have this basic income, universal basic income, but I think it's quite hard, especially now the economy is going down. It's hard to get job, but for us, we need good infrastructure like roads and telecommunication, especially in the rural area, so that we can market our produce. We can now, there's a lot of marketing done online, but because we have no access to internet to promote our goods, we don't have access to good road to bring out the food, the food that we plant. That's also a big hindrance. And of course, social security net for all the vulnerables, the elderly, those who are disabled. I think we need to look into that. And also, finally, we look at because we are so dependent also on workers. Workers, not only Malaysians, but also we have a lot of migrant workers. We need to also look at their rights to ensure that their rights are protected, and whether they're also either in the formal or informal economy. Employment security is very important, I feel. So ensuring that the active participation of the less heard in our society, like indigenous community, women, youths, will contribute towards upholding the dignity and quality of life for people in Malaysia. So for that, that's the first point that I want to, that is something that I will talk about. Thank you very much.